Hey guys, welcome back to Deandra J K and K. My name is Deandra, and today we are going to be talking about chapter 2 of Behind the Story. Oh, happy Festa Day! Yes, guys. Today is June 13th, 2026. This is the day that BTS celebrates their anniversary. They call it Festa, BTS Festa. They even mention it in chapter 2 of the book. So, happy Festa Day. I think that this is going to go out after Festa Day. So, you will be seeing this probably tomorrow or Monday, but we'll see. I'm going to try to get this out to you guys. It depends on how quick I can edit this. I feel like this is a great video to put out on Festa Day because it really speaks on the roots of BTS and just their rising action into being who they are today. So this is really exciting to talk about on Festa Day. But yeah, happy Festa Day, Army. I fully expected to know all the information already about BTS. I became a fan of them in 2015. But with BTS, they put out so much content, and obviously there are things behind closed doors that we'll never know. And it explains it in this book, the logistics behind putting out a music video, what's expected when a group goes onto a music show, and how and where they're sitting behind the scenes waiting for their name to come up. Things that you always wondered whenever you are watching Music Bank, or things about like Gaon chart, digital charts, music charts, they break it down really well in the eyes of BTS. I have a lot of notes that I wrote down for chapter 2. I'm not going to sit here and go through every little thing in chapter 2. It's a lot. I was even reading and I was like, okay, when are we going to get to the end of chapter 2? Because they stuff a lot of information in here. The book is 496 pages long, so if you have never read a 400 plus book, get ready. So they open up chapter 2 by talking about BTS's competition. This excited me so much because as an EXO fan, that's the very first group I started out with. I was just absolutely thrilled when I saw EXO written in the book. So EXO and Winner, they mentioned how Winner's survival show helped them build fans. Meanwhile, BTS is working on a blog that gets an accumulation of 6 comments in a span of 2 months on a YouTube channel. So basically, they're saying these big groups such as EXO that's coming from legacy acts, legacy entertainment companies. SM is the first entertainment company. Then you have Winner that's coming off of survival show, which was really big at the time. BTS, they didn't have all that money because of what happened prior to them with Glam. If you don't know about Glam, basically it was a failed girl group, and there's some tea there. There's some tea in Glam. There's some good tea in Glam story. I don't even know if I want to bring it up on this channel. It's just good tea, and there's a connection between Squid Games. Ooh, the tea is good with Glam, but it's bad in BTS's case because they sadly reap the consequences of Glam's failure. So they had to resort to free resources like YouTube. So then they began to talk about BTS's digital strategy here, focusing on what they had access to and how they had follower goals to reach after every single music show they went on to. Their inspirations were actually Big Bang, but they were silenced in the beginning from talking about Big Bang from naysayers because naysayers felt like they were trying to clout chase on Big Bang's name, and they were convinced that BTS wouldn't last long. And here we are. Okay, so I mentioned in chapter 1 that there was a QR code to the BTS blog that does not work. I actually found a great archival resource that you guys can look into. It's called btsarchive.com. On page 56, it mentions that the first entry post was December 21st, 2012. Definitely check out the archive if you just want to go back in history and follow all the way to present day. It's a great resource. Again, it's btsarchive.com. So this is the social media format that HYBE artists today use. Notice that they have videos showing choreo, photos, how they make their music. I think that's why Cordis specifically feels very different to me than other HYBE artists. Now, I know TXT came directly after BTS, but I couldn't really get into them. I like that one song, Crown. And then after that, I was into Enhypen from their survival show. But after learning a couple of things about Enhypen, I kind of fell off. The group dynamic kind of fell a little flat to me with Enhypen, sadly. And now, Evan, he's gone. So, however, Cordis, I think, has that spark. And it seems that they're following in the exact footsteps as BTS. Taking a look at Martin specifically, I see a little bit of RM. Martin, he produces, he raps, he sings. His music inspirations are very similar to RM. RM was very into old school rap. RM had stated in the book that getting into a trap flow was really difficult for him because he appreciated old school hip hop. But I see with Martin, he's really into trap music. His inspirations are A$AP Rocky, RM of BTS. But his inspirations that I heard him speak about have a very trap focus. He really studies rap. So I'm reading off of Google. It says, Martin, the leader group of Cordis, draws his musical inspirations from a wide mix of Western hip hop, rock, and his own father's record collection. He blends this diverse background into his own unique style of songwriting and production. His primary musical influences are Mac Miller, Tyler the Creator, 3 6 Mafia, and A$AP Rocky. He said that has heavily shaped his sound and production style. So when I think of new artists today following BTS's footprints, especially HYBE artists, I think Cordis, I think Martin, I think, and I'll get to it later, James as well. Anyway, this isn't about Cordis, but I would love to do like a Cordis deep dive, and maybe I will one day. Okay, something that I found interesting was that on page 71, it explains the surprise element of introducing a member that you wouldn't have expected. So I thought this was very relevant to today. Let me read what the paragraph says. V was revealed to the public on a visual concept photo teaser for the BTS debut album on June 3rd, 2013, hiding the presence of an attractive member until the last minute, then making a surprise reveal to add a new dynamic to the team is a strategy with a proven track record. So that alone, this part right here where it says making a surprise reveal to add a new dynamic to the team is a strategy with a proven track record. I think that explains how Mana and Sakura from their respective groups got so much attention, because I think people didn't expect it, although they had a lot of star power. I know Bang Shi-hyuk said he looked at V and was like, he's a good looking person. So, you know, like same as Jin, but definitely like V had something about him. And I think the same could be said about Manon. And I'm not so sure about Sakura, but I have seen some clips of her. I think they see potential. I thought what was interesting about V versus Manon and Sakura is that something that started so innocent and like a pleasant surprise in current day has backfired and turned into hatred and vitriol for the entire group or that specific individual. At this point in chapter 2, they're comparing BTS's albums in the early era. What RM likes to lovingly call it BTS season 1. He says that there were sweet, bitter moments. So a sweet moment was their debut album. They ended up getting a lot of calls after they had performed their debut stage because people were just wowed at the acrobatics, the skill set, so on and so forth. Then when Oh, Are You Late Too came out, apparently it didn't do well. It didn't do as well as they would have wished it would. It only sold 2,000 units more than the debut album. And apparently that's a big loss because they were expecting way more. School Love Affair was the next album afterwards, and that apparently was their saving grace. School Love Affair came out February 12th, 2014, and it was their second mini album. This is a quote from the book. Public response to School Love Affair restored Suga's hope for the future. Boy in Love exposed BTS to even more people than before, successfully serving its purpose as a title song. Tomorrow cemented BTS's identity even further. Now everyone's attention, BTS members and Big Hit Entertainment alike, was focused on the next album, Dark and Wild, as School Love Affair had propelled them to candidacy for the top place of music show rankings. Naturally, their next goal was to win first place. Little by little, the future was growing brighter and the members were renewing their determination. So Dark and Wild was apparently very exhausting for BTS, down to the choreography. They ended up having to film American Hustle Life during the promotional period of Danger. And the reason they even did American Hustle Life because they really needed that variety show element so that fans could get idol content, because apparently that's like top 3 things fans want from idols. They want the album drop, they want, I think it was merch, and then they want to see idol content. By way of Mnet, that's how BTS was able to do American Hustle Life with Coolio and Warren G. So apparently this was also a natural extension for Jungkook. He actually did a trip 2 years prior in 2012 where the company really wanted him to show his personality more. So they said, you need to go to America, you need to improve your dance skills, and you need to bring out more of your personality. And I think that you going over there will help you do that. He was in junior high at this time. So whatever personality hasn't developed yet, because that's peak time to like find yourself. He must have found it in America because everybody felt like he had drastically changed and improved, which is great. So they're preparing for Dark and Wild while filming American Hustle Life. And then they had the Mama Awards where they were going to showcase the title track, which is Danger. So the thing is, they had to prepare really hard for that stage, which they were doing with Block B. You can watch it on YouTube. Very interesting. The day before, Bobby from Winner came for RM in a song called Come Here. He was calling out RM saying, all right, your name is Rap Monster, that's lame, bop, bop, bop. So RM said, I have no other choice but to do this on the Mama stage. So he calls out Bobby. Now, it was all cute because in rap, you go back and forth. And RM knew that and he respected that compared to Be Free, which Be Free, if you don't know what happened there, Be Free basically dissed BTS to their faces when he invited them on his show. And he did it without even critiquing music that he listened to when he didn't even listen to their music. He said something about their makeup and how makeup is for girls and stuff like that. Just very distasteful. But Bobby's different because he called RM to the table through rap. See Kendrick Lamar and Drake. And that's how you just do things in hip hop. And RM respected that. Dark and Wild net shipments were only 100,906 units, putting it at 14th place on the Gaon music charts. It was only a 14,902 unit increase from School Love Affair, which came out half a year earlier. And to Big Hit, that was as good as no growth at all. I saw it as yearly improvement. Like, okay, they got more people to buy. But I think it comes more from a financial loss / gain situation. You put so much into the promotion of something and you're only getting a little bit of money back. So they said it's as good as nothing. So apparently Danger did so bad in public perception that they had to follow up with War of Hormones, which to this day is the most clever thing that I've seen. One of the most clever things that I've seen BTS do. When I saw War of Hormones, the lyrics, the music video, I was just amazed. I was amazed because no other K-pop group was doing that. And let me break that down a little bit further. It captures the essence of youth, which was the current theme that they were in. And it's a great follow-up for the School trilogy, which was all of BTS era 1 or season 1. With the first 3 albums focusing on school and Defiance and, all this stuff. So it was a great follow-up for School Love Affair, in my opinion. War of Hormones was so fitting because of the irony in that song. So the irony here in War of Hormones is basically the boys are trying to look cool, but they're talking about something so uncool, which is teenage hormones. They're just awkward teenagers with raging hormones, and they're trying to act tough, but their inner thoughts are confused and very immature. And even at the end of the video, the girl, she's the one in power because she gets to choose who she wants. I thought it was the classic tough guy, but truly clueless. And some would say it's objectifying women. I actually think that's a very surface level way to think about it. I think it's actually poking fun at the men, poking fun at the boys. It's giving a lot of fan service, and Bang Si-hyuk actually explains that in the book. Bang Si-hyuk wanted to make War of Hormones to give fans, which are women and girls, the chance to see the fan service, to see Jimin hit, I think it was V's butt, and just like fangirl over that. A lot of eye contact with the camera. It's good. It's so good. Let me break it down for you guys. So RM starts off saying, "Thank you for your existence. Please call me. I'll buy you dinner. I'm crazy these days. Girls' clothes that make me cough, cough. They're see-through, very much, thank you, please enhance my vision, natural LASIK, I don't need to pay for it. I'll be in panic, I'll be a fan, and I'll be a man of you. Jungkook goes, my eyes keep turning to the girls. Yep, girls are like an equation, us guys just do them. Wear them more, your high heels. I'm 18, I know what I need to know. My eyes keep turning to the girls. Genius says something else. Genius says that my eyes are looking at their tummies. Wear them more, your high heels. I'm 18, I know what I need to know. I know that girls are the best things in the world. Yes, I'm a bad boy, so I like bad girl. Come here, baby, we're gonna hit it off. J-Hope. Her head, body, waist, legs, even the parts I can't say. As a man, saying I'm not interested would be beyond ridiculous. Even her smallest gestures blow my mind. Girl, every night I guard my computer spot because... I'm sorry that... I'm sorry that line. Girl, every night I guard my computer spot because of your temptations. For her, lady first. Girls are frozen icebergs, let it go. This female drives me crazy, provokes me every day. Tonight again, after fighting with my hormones, I pop my pimples. So the aftermath of that apparently was that people did not like it. Because of the lyrics and controversy, BTS apologized and never performed the song live again. They later released 21st Century Girl as a respectful peace offering to women. I did not know that. I think I am of the group that thinks War of Hormones was a great song for the group at that time with the context that they currently were in with the School trilogy. Apparently, I'm of the minority. I think it was great, and I stand on that. And I do understand young boys looking at young girls and objectifying them. But naturally, as a teenager, I just thought it was good writing. I thought it was good writing. So that's War of Hormones. There is a different translation that came out years ago before Genius even was aware of BTS's presence. Back then, we had to take people's word that they knew Korean and could translate it. So all in all, after reading chapter 2, it brought back a lot of nostalgia for me. It reminded me of BTS's roots. It gave me behind the scene knowledge of clips that I've seen before and gave me an inside look to their emotions around that period of time. I am not shocked that it was hard for them, but I am shocked at how high the stakes were because although they were from a new company, I didn't perceive at that time, I didn't perceive them as being that down and out because the production quality of their music videos were really good. Now, it was no XO, it was no Shiny level, it wasn't a Sherlock, but it was good. I mean, War of Hormones, I mean, they were outside and they had a filter over it, so it could give the illusion that it was more high production than what it really was. But they did a great job. I wasn't upset. And honestly, no. Everybody say no. I felt like that song, that music video was amazing. Even No More Dreams. Like, I know Big Hit had money, but comparatively to the big dogs, like, I would have thought their music videos would give nothing the way that they're talking about it in this book. And I just remember being younger, looking at it like, oh yeah, this is on par with what I typically see in K-pop. Like, in my young brain, I didn't have a thought of, wow, the production's really low. They're scraping by. Let me support this new group so that they can produce better music videos. That never crossed my mind. So it's just really cool to get that inside look. All in all, I think chapter 2 was a great chapter. I would have loved if they went into American hustle life a little bit more because I felt like they just said BTS went to America and did an Mnet show. I don't know if there's weird feelings around American hustle life, but I do know some people don't like to rewatch the episodes. It's really funny memories. But I don't know. I feel like it's such good nostalgia for specifically Black fans. It's really funny. It's really, really funny. Some people don't like it, but I thought it was funny. And I feel like it makes sense to go to the home of hip hop, which in the book they state you got to go to America if you're going to be about this. And I feel like that also sets them apart from other groups. I'm not sure Block B's background. I know Zico was like in the underground space, and Bobby from Icon heavy into hip hop, but like I don't know if they were really, I don't know how close they were to the origin and like how much they knew, so much so just putting on the look. I will say the rappers in the group are good in Icon, but I just don't know if these groups have the same background that BTS did. I feel like they did the groundwork. Rap Monster twice, because not only did he go to Hongdae and, you know, he was in those underground circles, and he grew up like that. Like, that's insane to be 15 and you're in those circles, and then you go straight to America and you're learning from Warren G and Coolio. Like, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. All in all, I thought chapter 2 was great, and it brought back a lot of memories. I cannot wait for chapter 3. Chapter 3 is when I come into the picture and I discover BTS, and that made me go back in time to look at their previous albums. I think I'm gonna have a lot of tears when I'm reading chapter 3. Yeah, but anyway, I'm excited. I will get back to you guys with my recap of chapter 3, of course. Let me know what you thought about chapter 2. Let me know what your takeaways were. And yeah, happy Festa Day. And if it's after Festa, I hope you enjoyed your Festa. Tell me what you did during Festa. I'm about to go see the BTS Busan concert in my movie theater. So that's how I'll be spending today. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.